Senator Sivray, you're a very prolific blogger, and there's been rules made now, special rules made against Citizens Media for filming scrutiny panel hearings that was discussed today. What do you make of what was said today in the States?
Well, I mean, clearly the subtext to what is going on here is an effort to control public opinion, to control public dissemination of information. They want to stop independent journalists like you and me, those who work in Citizens Media, from having access to these proceedings, but I'm quite sure they won't apply the same standards to the traditional media who tend to support the establishment. So one of the things I think that is absolutely clear is that if a set of rules need to be drawn up about when or when it is not appropriate to film in these proceedings, it must be equal, level playing field and apply fairly across the board to everybody.
Can you give us your take on Citizens Media and the blogging sphere? What do you think of it?
Well, I think the more exchange there is of views, the better. Obviously, I get a little shaky when blogs descend into sort of just basically trading abuse between people. But if it's another way of bringing more people in, people who don't like newspapers or don't listen to Radio Jersey, and it's well handled and there are good debates, the more the merrier.
So if you would say yes, you're in favour of Citizens Media, would you say?
Yes, yeah, very much so. Yep.
Senator Ben Shenton, blogging has become a phenomenon. It's hit Jersey. What do you think of it?
Well, I'm not a big fan of it as a politician, but it's here to stay, and it's people's rights to get their views across. I mean, the reason I'm not fully in favour of it is because I can read some pretty horrible things about myself on them, but maybe they're the home truths, and maybe they're the things that people want to say. But it is the modern medium, and people need to get used to that.
Favour.
I think they're always going to be here. We're going to get more and more of them. They're not going to go away, so we're going to have to get used to them, and we're going to have to change the rules to accommodate them as well.
Councillor Crowcroft, blogging, we're bloggers. It's an interesting phenomenon. It's a pity more States members don't use it for themselves to communicate with the electorate. The town's got a website, but what in general speak is your view on it?
Yeah, I think blogs are really useful. I have started blogging on the Town Hall website. I do want to get the Town Hall website blog working effectively, and I think a blog needs to be updated every few days, otherwise the audience gets rapidly bored of going to the site.
And in principle you support it?
Absolutely.
Senator Ouzef, blogging, bit of a hot potato right now. What do you make of this new Citizens Media?
I think it's inevitable that as the internet evolves, and the traditional media evolves to be online, there's going to be a lot more competition in terms of public debate, in terms of the way that people get their news. I certainly don't get my news exclusively by watching the 10 o'clock news on the BBC or listening to the radio in the morning. You get it from a variety of sources. But it's an inevitability. I think it's a good thing. It's good for democracy that there is discussion and debate about all sorts of issues, and I'm certainly not against it. Certainly blog sites provide the opportunity of debate, of providing a way for people to contribute. But I'm certainly not against the world of internet blog sites, who certainly do have a role, and certainly have a role in catalysing debates and having discussions about things. I know you, and I'm happy to answer questions from somebody that I know. So cautiously, I welcome it. As a Democrat, I welcome discussion and debate.